Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. In this video we're going to be going over the latest update that has been posted on the forums, and it regards an Armory update and 5-star weapons. Now, if you've been tuning into my live streams for the last couple of weeks, I have been calling this, and it's mainly because I had the same situation happen from the 5 to 6-star era, 6-star era to S-class era, and I was feeling the same situation appear right now. In the 5-star era, I got a decent team. I was feeling quite happy. I was like, finally my team's coming together. Legitimately within 2 weeks, 6 stars were announced. 6-star era, same sort of thing happens. I finally got a decent attack team. I had an okay defense team. I was like, okay, I'm feeling good. This is pretty decent. Within 2 weeks, S-class characters were announced. I've been feeling like my weapons situation has actually been pretty decent for like the last month or two, so maybe they've been a bit slow on this. Maybe I'm a bit ahead of the game, I don't know. But I've been calling 5-star weapons just because I'm in such a comfortable position. I am mainly free to play right now. I have spent in the past, but I haven't spent anything for quite a while really, and nothing ever on weapons. And I'm in a really comfortable place, so if someone's consistently spending, they're done pretty much. The only way they can get new weapons done is with fixed weapons, and that's why we're seeing all these S-class characters coming out of fixed weapons to try and get people to spend who are whales, basically, to speed up that spend. And well, we're gonna go through the post. We've got the 5-star weapons, we've got the Armory update. I'm gonna read through it and we're going to break it down. It says, greetings survivors, this week we're excited to reveal a few big updates that are coming soon to Road to Survival. Since it was added to the game, the Armory has played a critical role in the progression of players and their combat lineups. Crafting and enhancing your arsenal of weapons is one of the main ways in which all players can increase the power of their fighters and directly impact the dynamics and flow of combat. Despite the importance of the Armory, it remains one of the most complex systems to navigate in the game. Whether you are trying to figure out the potential outcomes of a weapon upgrade or just trying to explore its intricacies, we've frequently heard that the Armory is difficult to understand and use. The updates we're making to the Armory are aimed at changing that. The update you'll read about below should dramatically improve the usability of the Armory, as well as add new ways to enhance your weapons. The new Armory and weapon effects are going into public beta this week, and then will be going live for all players shortly afterwards. So we'll go through the Armory changes first, and then I think I'll break this down one at a time just because it'll take a long time to come back to this at the end of the video. This is quite a long update, and it says, Armory changes. We performed a major overhaul of the Armory system. All new crafting flows begin with the weapon first instead of the schematic, and I believe that basically means normally you'd select what type of upgrade you want to do, then you'd select the weapon. Now you select the weapon first, then you say what kind of upgrade you want to do. So they've just changed the order in which you select things, which I guess doesn't change things too much, but I guess they figure that's probably the best way of upgrading weapons, which I guess kind of makes sense. All potential crafting outcomes are now visible before the craft attempt. This is great, and I really hope, because this is something that hasn't really been updated since the odds requirement have been added to the games on mobile games. I really hope they show the odds of getting each one as well, because you can coin these, and a lot of people do coin these. This is why they're updating the system. That's why they're adding 5-star weapons, is to make money. And if you're making money in an area of the game and there are different odds within that area of the game, people should know what the potential odds are there. So it doesn't say anything about the odds being added, but they kind of should be added, so I hope they are. The next one says, weapon sorting is greatly improved with an all-new filtering system. That's great. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think the filtering system as it stands wasn't too bad. I mean, you could filter by attack, defense, that sort of thing. So it wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. So hopefully it has like 2-step filtering now, like you can say only 4-star weapons and with crit, or only 4-star weapons, only fast, that sort of thing. Like, so you can get a certain particular weapon quite easily in your Armory. But we'll have to see when this drops in beta how that's going to work out. Disassembling, resetting, and navigating the Armory interface are now all possible while all Armories are busy. This is great. Disassembling and resetting is great. It would be nice if you could craft the smaller parts while the Armories are like busy with weapons. I know theoretically you're going to be building weapons, you can't really build the parts at the same time. It's just I don't know, it's just a bit much. But hey, the disassembling and resetting at least is there. It says all queued crafts of weapons parts are now skippable if you meet the required prestige level. I think that's what that's meant to say. I had to read through that two or three times because there's a couple of grammar mistakes there. But I think what this means is, let's say I put in 10 of an item which I can skip because I have prestige to skip one of them. I can just skip all 10 as I'm skipping them individually rather than like as a group, which is really, really good because it was so annoying. Like, honestly, it was just so annoying to have to do 3, skip, come back, do 3, skip, come back, which is, it isn't great for the player experience, you know. And I think if this is what this means, where like, if I can skip 1, I can craft like 20 and just skip instantly, that would be great, because that would definitely improve quality of life within the Armory, and I'd say that's one of the most annoying parts of the Armory. So that's good. It says easier mass disassembly supported by new filtering reduces the needs for a long press on every weapon. Fingers crossed you can just select all 1-star items or something like that, or all 2-star items, because I haven't disassembled in the Armory basically because it's just it takes so long, and it kind of is laggy. And I hope that's one of the big things that add in. And like the long press, like I might only have like 5 weapons of a certain type, like 5 of this particular SMG, and then I long press the 5, and then I have to go to the next like rifle, long press the next 7 or something, and so on and so forth. It just takes a bit too long. And as you can only select 100 at a time, you've got to do that, and then you've got to disassemble, come back, do through. It's just, hopefully like it is a bit more straightforward. Updated visuals and screens that more clearly communicate information. We'll have to wait and see what this means. Various other user experience flow improvements. So again, they're not really narrowing anything down here, so we'll have to come back and see what this means when it is in beta. So next up is talking about 5-star weapons, and I think this is what a lot of people will be interested in. It says any seasoned road to survival player will tell you that your fighter's weapons can be the deciding factor in combat. I'd say it is pretty much the deciding factor. If you don't have the right weapons, you're never going to win. You know, you need everything. You need mods, you need the good characters themselves, but if you haven't got good weapon specials or good like AP on attack, for instance, you're not going to rush. So yeah, definitely upgrading your weapon stats and crafting unique weapon abilities is critical to success for any competitive player. 4-star weapons have existed in the game for a long time without any major updates. As part of the update to the Armory, we wanted to add new ways for players to make their weapons even stronger, building on the crafting they've already completed. So hopefully that means it won't be resetting current weapons. We also wanted to make your weapons crafting more relevant in a world where many fighters have fixed weapons. So what are 5-star weapons? How are they different from 4-star? How is it all going to work? There is a lot to unpack with 5-star weapons, so let's jump into the specifics. Design philosophy. The intent behind the 5-star weapon design is to extend players' current crafting and weapon progress. So in my mind, this means that the weapon we've currently got will remain as it is, and it will just get better, maybe unlocking an extra slot when it becomes a 5-star, you know, the extra 4 slot, or it'll be, this is me just assuming, we're going to read through this, but maybe an extra slot, or maybe an extra 1, maybe 2 potential upgrade slots, so you can get maybe an extra 10% on the weapon. But it was important to us in designing this system that the weapons and effects players crafted in the 4-star world remain relevant. Okay, I think they're generally speaking always going to remain relevant, because, you know, stun on attack, stun on defense, impairs, these are core mechanics in the game, so I don't think there was any risk there, to be honest. The risk is if you have to lose that weapon, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's read through. Upgrade any 4-star weapon to 5 stars. Players will be able to upgrade any of their 4-star weapons in the Armory to 5 stars. What you gain? A new 4th weapon effect slot. Okay, upon upgrading your weapon, you will unlock the brand new empty 4 slot. On this slot, all new epic weapon effects, base stats, or AP boosts can be crafted. So this sounds like there's going to be a new like 4th slot special. Like there is right now 3rd slot specials, it sounds like there's going to be also 4th slot specials. So you could get some mad combos on weapons. I'm actually kind of interested in this. Base effect lock. When upgrading a 4-star weapon to 5 stars, all effects currently on that weapon stay in place and are locked as the base effects of that weapon. This means that when you reset a 5-star weapon, it will reset to whichever stats the weapon had when you upgraded it to 5 stars. That is amazing. That is actually really, really good. So effectively, wow, that is really good. That is really, really good. If this works on attached weapons that are, you know, attached to characters, getting a perfect weapon is really important then. So I might have to start resetting some weapons to make them perfect. If that's how it works with these as well. That is actually really, really interesting. Okay. I'm liking the sound of this so far, I'm gonna be honest. But there's obviously there's gonna be something where I'm just like, why did I have to do it? Why did they have to do it? We'll keep reading through. Upgrade counter reset. When upgrading a weapon to 5 stars, your crafting attempts will be reset to 0. This means you have 3 new crafting attempts on your 5-star weapon. Interesting. Okay, so you're going to be able to get really heavy stats here. That's really interesting. Upgrading to 5 stars will require the new Armory token currency. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I mean, they've got to have it, so you can't just be crafting like mad, and obviously they want you to be able to buy this thing. So, no, upgrading a 4-star weapon to 5 stars is irreversible and permanent. Upgrade carefully. So the downside so far, what I'm hearing is, you're gonna have to get a perfect weapon if you really want that, like, next level. So those weapons where you got 40% stat and only very large to AP, you're gonna probably want to reset that to get huge and 40% stat, which can take a long time. You can be doing it on characters that are really important to you. So that is the downside of this system by the sounds of things. But if you've got that perfect weapon, you've got a great base in the 5-star weapon era effectively. So yeah, I mean, the Armory token, I saw it coming because they've got to make money out of this somehow. You could say they could make money out of this by skipping, but there is a system that was added to other games that I've seen where they've added different things to their weapon system, and it's pretty similar in terms of the token, just to slow it down as well. So the gap isn't massive instantly, but they will sell these no doubt. So the gap will still be there with people who are willing to spend. So next up it says fixed weapon stat swapping. After upgrading a fixed weapon to 5 stars and researching the fixed weapon swapping upgrade, you can now swap out the stats on your fixed weapons. While many fixed weapons offer unique weapon effects that make characters powerful, we know it can be frustrating to not use your carefully crafted weapons. This system should allow the flexibility to choose either option. 5-star fixed weapons can now have their stats swapped with another 5-star weapon. Okay, this is interesting. So potentially you could make perfect 5-star weapons and then switch them with other characters' weapons. That's interesting. And then you just have like a duff 5-star weapon that you could remove in the end. So you could almost guarantee yourself perfect weapons this way. I guess this would cost quite a lot. It would take a long time, but on particular characters like S-class characters with fixed weapons, you know, the attached weapons, that's very important. It says first upgrade your fixed weapon to 5 stars. Next, go to your edit teams menu and select the weapon. Now you can swap any 5-star weapon stats onto the fixed weapon of the same trait. So let's say if I've got Priya maxed out, she's got a 5-star weapon. Right now for me, she has 40% attack and a very large bonus to AP on attack. If I make that 5 stars, that becomes a new base weapon. If I craft a tough trait weapon with huge AP on attack, I can swap that huge AP on attack once it's a 5-star weapon onto Priya's weapon to make it so that Priya's weapon is the huge on attack and the other weapon becomes very large. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of like that. So the idea behind that is it's going to be a bit more streamlined and a bit more reasonable to get perfect weapons now, versus before it was just like you had to just get 3 RNG rolls in a row, and that's basically how it works right now, where you have to get 3 crits in a row. You also have to get that trait crit if you want that special, like stun on defense, that sort of thing. And it can be really frustrating. You've waited a long time to get that stun on defense on, like, let's say a Pete, and then you get him, and I think Man on the Moon will get me, and you don't get any crits on the next 2 upgrades, and it just don't look nice. For one, it doesn't look nice, but also he's not as powerful as he could be. So this is going to seemingly, make that not as big an issue in the 5-star weapon era. Next up it says the epic weapon effects, and this should be the specials most likely. 5-star weapon effects are designed to amplify a fighter's strengths and should not feel as frustrating as facing down a stun gun or impair weapon without a disarming specialist. 5-star weapons will all have a new 4th effect slot that can contain new epic effects. The new 5-star weapon epic effects are much less dependent on RNG procs, and for that reason, no epic weapon effects will be disarmable. Disarming specialists will still be immune to any defensive epic effect procs. Every epic weapon effect was designed with these tenets in mind. New combat strategies. Whether your team is geared for taking down walkers, destroying your enemies, or resisting attack, there will be an epic weapon effect to help you achieve your goals. 4 new versions of epic effects are being added to the game: Destruction, Amplification, team player, and resistance. Check out the new effects here. We'll check that out in a minute. Epic weapon effects can only be crafted in the 4th slot. This means every weapon will have a maximum of 1 epic effect. Epic weapon effects cannot be disarmed. In the event that a fighter with a 5-star weapon equipped is disarmed, the special effect 3rd slot will still be disarmed, but not the 4th slot. Disarming specialists will be immune to defensively procced weapon effects on all slots, however. So checking out the other post in terms of the weapon effects here, there's a lot here. So I think I'm going to have to do this in a separate video, but there are a lot here. I'm going to link this post in the description if you want to check this through yourself, but I think I'm going to do this in a separate video just because it's going to take ages otherwise. Now back to the main post, you go on to new weapon rarities. Craft the best of the best 5-star weapons and improve your weapons to masterwork or even diamond quality. The highest weapon rarities have all new in-combat glows and new weapon backgrounds. So this is just a sort of fluff change. A lot of people do like this though. I don't mind it too much. It's just a little bonus. I don't think it will affect anything in terms of gameplay, but it looks nice. It looks pretty. New parts and armory tokens. 5-star weapons will require a new currency armory tokens to craft. All 5-star weapons will also require new weapon parts and have new optional parts to increase your success chance, critical chance, and even skip crafting times entirely. Armory tokens replace materials as the crafting currency for new effects. Armory tokens can be found in PvP events, including arena drops, raid milestones, raid rank rewards, and more. New valuable optional parts will be available from top-end arena and raid rewards and can be found in the League store. We want to ensure that you will be able to predictably work toward the parts you need to craft new effects. For that reason, all parts and tokens will be persistently available through gameplay. And generally speaking, I think a lot of people will kind of reserve the right to say that we haven't had this in the past, but they did say this about veteran rings, and veteran rings are very much available in arena. If you just play through arena, you can get veteran rings every week for free just based on doing 5 attacks. Even if you don't come in the top slots, you're going to get them just from the milestones. It may only be 1 or 2, but you're going to be able to get them every week. If you hit some good scores, you're going to be able to get 5 to 10 in that particular arena. And if you manage to come first in arena, you can get, I think you can get up to like 50 to 90 in a week. I'm not really sure, I haven't really calculated. So we'll have to see, but based on recent updates to the game, this sounds a little bit better in terms of the availability potential of these armory tokens. And lastly, it goes on to say there are going to be some new 3rd slot special effects as well. There is now a new 4th level of your defender, supporter, slayer, and raid upgrades. These upgrades are crafted with armory tokens and have their own parts that can be used to craft. These effects are still disarmable. Check out all the new weapon effects in game and make your recruits and weapons stronger than ever before. Now with this update, there is also some bug fixes, and I'm just going to scroll through these. If you want to pause and just read through these, generally speaking, these are just going to be small gameplay issues that sometimes we don't even notice because you don't use a character that has, Firestarter, for instance, which I just saw pop up there. We'll just check out this improvement section. It says, added a timer to camps on the map that are on attack cooldown, similar to what strongholds have. Okay, so basically you don't have to click on someone during war. You can see the timer. That's great. Added badging to the inventory button for unopened choice boxes. I guess that means you can order them by what they are. I'm not really sure what that means, but potentially your inventory, instead of having to scroll all the way to your choice boxes on the far right, which can take forever if you've got a lot of items, you can just maybe filter or list by choice boxes or something. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see on that. So pretty good update in total. I'm going to be honest, generally speaking, I'm kind of scared when there's like an upgrade system like weapons coming into the game. But this sounds pretty balanced, if I'm honest, and obviously they're going to be selling these tokens. Obviously it's going to be hard to come by, but generally speaking, it does seem like you're going to be getting something good out of it when you get them. It isn't like an full RNG system in terms of crafting that new base weapon. Sounds fantastic to me, so I'm really, really happy with that. And we'll have to wait and see how it fully works. When you swap out a 5-star effect for another 5-star effect, does that become the new base weapon, or is that using one of the upgrades You know, there are going to be some small things. Once this drops in beta, I will go through it on there. But this looks really interesting, and I'm actually going to be looking forward to it. I will be making a second video on the effects because it is huge. When you see this next video, you're going to see there's so many new effects, and I'm going to just be going through them, which ones I think are good, that sort of thing, and yeah, we'll see. But that's the end of my video. Do tell me what you think of this update. What do you think's the, you know, the highlight here? What are you looking forward to the most out of the 5-star weapons? Are you looking forward to 5-star weapons at all? Do give me your thoughts. That is the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.